Awesome. We're just double checking here on numbers to make sure we don't need to do any reorganization here before we head out. But once I get the clearance here, then we'll get going. Okay, boys, we are clear to go. Okay, guys, so as we did before in the ATSs, we're going to maintain about a 3-car length gap between each of us, and we're going to do that rotation that you learned about. Hang on, I got a door open here from the guy that was riding with me. All right, gentlemen, go ahead and put those cars in gear and we can start rolling. All right, now the other cool thing that we're going to wind up doing here, fellas, is we're actually going to drive one more lap than you did in the ATSs this morning. And so we'll kind of take our time working our way out of the pits here, since there's that ATS group in front of us. The straightaway is clear, but again, we want to stay left of that blend line. All right, so keep those eyes moving, fellas. Make sure you track all the way out there coming out of turn 2. You've got plenty of time to bring the car back to the left to enter, out of turn 1. You got plenty of time to get set for turn 2 here. We don't necessarily have to track all the way out, and we're going to come just slightly right of center for the entrance to turn 3, which begins the S's. And as you found, guys, the S's really aren't symmetrical, so it's hard to get into any real rhythms through here. Mid-track, no more than mid-track here. Sometimes I use a little bit of brake to help transfer some load to the nose of the car to get it to turn in a little bit better. Mid-track here, and just a reminder, see how I'm all the way to the right for this left-hand turn 9. We always, as much as we can, try to open up the radius to any given corner, because the more open of a radius we can make a corner, the more speed we can carry. So think radius equals speed. Start through the car. Braking at about the 3, maybe the 2.5, given our current pace. Make sure you get your eyes into the apex really early. Okay, and then cast them ahead to the exit cone. Alright, let's go ahead and do our first rotation. So that first car, you can move to your left. The second and third cars pull up behind me. There we go. Now we can accelerate down the straightaway into the brake zone for turn 12. Alright, so I'm going to brake at about the 4 marker here. We're doing about 100 miles an hour. Let's stay wide to the right, start looking in for your apex, get the car slowed down, right into the apex here, track all the way out, use all that road, and then you've got still plenty of time to come back to the left of the turning cone for turn 13 here. And here too, get your eyes that are wrapped around the corner, look all the way around the corner if you can. And if you get it right, you can set kind of a certain steering angle and it'll bring the car right back in. Ahead, look through your driver's side window nice and early so you can spot the apex for 15. Again, tracking all the way out. Now as we come through 16, 17, and 18 here, that's another example of really having to try to look as far around the corner as you possibly can. And then we'll track all the way out here, braking where that stripe across the pavement is. And then roll the speed through turn 19. I'm going to kind of take it a little easier through here so we can just start gathering everybody back up. We're starting to get just a little spread out. Then we come on to turn 20 here onto the front straightaway. Alright, that's a little bit better. So let's accelerate up the straightaway using some of that CTS-V horsepower. And then we'll get up into turn 1. As you know, the brake zone here is on the right-hand side. Fortunately, being that it's uphill, that compression stuff certainly helps us under braking. But get your eyes in nice and early. And get as close as you can to that apex and track all the way out to the exit cone. Make your way back to the left. So you open the radius into turn 2 as much as possible. Then back to the right as you come into 3. Now I'm going to use just a slight touch of the brake here to set the car, maybe a 1 or a 2 pedal on a 1 to 10 scale. Sort of managing the rest of it here with throttle. And then staying right for the entrance of turn 7. Be about mid-track here. Okay, so guys, I see there's a group coming up behind us. What we're going to do coming out of turn 11 is we're just going to stay right. Alright, we're going to stay to the right-hand side, which is the racing line, and we're going to slow down just enough to let that other group go by us. I'm going to slow it kind of way down here so we can gather everybody back up. Alright, so let's just stay here on line, stay behind me, just nice and easy. Kind of pack up a little bit here, we're going to let that other group go by. Just stay behind me. Alright, now once this last car goes by, we're going to do a little rotation here. Alright, so first, there you go. The other two guys, you can pull on up behind me. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you making that work so effortlessly. Okay, now we can pick the pace back up again. Breaking the floorboard here. Alright, slow it down, eyes in, look through the apex, out to the exit, start squeezing on the power. Then wide right, and ease out of the brake here, coming into the double apex 13. Looking, it's almost like you gotta have your head on a swivel, constantly moving your vision. Eyes through the driver's side window here, nice and early. The vision's key here, fellas. The further ahead you get used to looking, the better off you're gonna be, because your eyes are gonna tell your hands and feet exactly what to do and when it needs to happen. There we go. Just keep squeezing on the power here. Wrap your eyes around the corner as best you can, and then squeeze the power. Out of the brake, pull that speed through the corner. Good, braking at about the bridge there. Nice, the apex, and then out to the exit. Alright guys, here we go. Let's use some of that CTS-V horsepower. One more lap to go. Use that hill, that compression to benefit our braking. Same thing here, eyes to the apex before you even reach it. So you always want to be at least one step ahead of where the car is at any given point in time in terms of what you're looking at. Now a little bit of brake there just to help set the car for the entrance to the exits. You notice I use just a tiny little bit of brake here just to help tuck the nose in so I can get to the apex of 6 to set me up for 7. And then there's such a quick transition here, we can't quite set all the way up far left for 8. And then we can gradually start to squeeze on the power here, coming up the hill through 9. And then ultimately turn tennis flat out once we get familiar with the cars and the track and have that confidence. There we go. There we go. Alright, one more rotation here, fellas. So the second and third cars, you guys come on up here. There we go, guys. Good. Let's keep going. Let's pick up the pace here a little bit. Because we're carrying about 110 miles an hour on the brake, about the 4.5 marker. So I can make sure that I can still brake nice and firm, but get all that deceleration done by the time I have to turn the wheel for the corner so I don't overshoot it. Like that almost happened. It's easy to not brake hard enough for that corner and then overshoot it. That's a tricky corner. I go a little bit wide here, trying to open the radius. Eyes up and out, track all the way out. Try not to run beyond the rumble strips though. If that's happening, you're probably turning in a little too early. And back on the brakes. Now I'm going to roll through, but now since we're coming back into the pits here, guys, I'm not going to track all the way out, and I'm going to back the pace down, and we're going to come back into the pit lane. All right, good job, guys, good job. So here's the game plan. So what we're going to do here is we're going to pull up in line. You're going to leave the cars running like you have been, and obviously put them in park, and then you'll press the stop record button on your PDR system. And if you know how to pull that chip out, you're certainly welcome to do that. Otherwise, our man Spencer is right here to help with that. But leave them run, put them in park, press stop record, and you can hop on out.